to create an IoT projects, and most of the students have gone through the creating an IoT projects, right? Because whatever I understand, most of the students are graduate students, and few of the students are class 12 students. They have gone through IoT projects, but the main problem with the IoT projects is to for them they require the IoT devices. And during the lockdown period, when I have started asking the students to come up with some of the solution how to solve the COVID-19 problem in a smaller way from your part using IoT and big data, machine learning. So they are telling that sir, how के IoT प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाने के लिए तो मुझे IoT डिवाइसेस चाहिए. अभी लॉकडाउन में तो कहाँ मेरे पास IoT डिवाइसेस है. कुछ कुछ जो है वो तो मैंने हॉस्टल में छोड़ के आया. It's a genuine problem for them. So that time I've gone through the different platforms, and I have gone through whether any perfect simulation tool is available where we can do the entire IoT projects in our simulation tool without having the physical IoT devices. And after that, if it works fine, that case we can directly implement it. And sometimes also, if you have the IoT devices, you find out that some of the components are not compatible, whether either with your Raspberry Pi or with your Arduino board. So that case, what you have to do that you have to return it back. And those who are there from Northeast, they are facing the problem in a big way, because I am from Jorhat. So the problem in Jorhat is that most of the cases either we have to bring the IoT devices or the sensors, whatever it may be, from the either from the Guwahati, or we have to order it from the Amazon. Now, if we find out that there is a compatibility issue, then we have to return it, and we have to reorder another item. So it takes another 15 days delay. So to get out of this problem, so I'm telling you, my friend, there are so many. Excuse me, please mute your mic. I request you, please mute your mic. So, there are all of you, please mute your mic. All of you, please mute your mic. It's getting echoed. I don't know why. It's getting echoed. I don't know why. It's coming. Hello. 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 Please mute your mic. Hello. Please mute your mic. I think all mics are mute. Okay, fine. Okay, so now can you hear me? Is there any echo is coming? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so that is why today's topic of discussion is do it yourself. How to do the IoT projects by yourself. Now, before going to that, let us discuss that what is IoT. Already, most of the students are knowing that for a fact that everywhere and anywhere, whatever right now you are going using, or whatever you are watching, so everything is being controlled by IoT only. IoT means connecting anything and everything in this world in the internet. So what do you mean by anything and everything? So it means that connecting your pen to internet, connecting your mouse to internet, connecting your laptop to internet, connecting your handheld devices like your mobile to internet, your pen, shirt, your shoe, your hat, anything. So if you connect it to the internet, that case it will become an internet of things. Now the question is how to connect it to the internet, first question, and next is the why I need to connect it to the internet. So if I don't know why I need to connect it to the internet, then why should I go for how to connect it to the internet? It is not required. Now to connect anything to the internet, I need to tag that particular things with a unique number, isn't it? Because in the internet, anything can be identified through an unique number only. Suppose if I want to make this chair, the chair you can see in this slide. So if I want to make this chair to be IoT enabled, that case what I need to do, I need to put a tag on this chair, and that tag should be the IP address. And through this IP address, I can connect this chair to the internet. Now, anywhere if I write the IP address in this chair, it will not work. What I have to do that I have to connect this chair with some devices which have the memory and processing unit, and with that devices I will put the IP address. IP address will be put into that devices only. Like here I am going to put I am going to embed a Raspberry Pi with that chair. Now what is Raspberry Pi? Raspberry Pi is a microcontroller, a small microcomputer. It has everything that your desktop computer has. I will discuss about the Raspberry Pi later on. But the thing is that Raspberry Pi is very affordable. It only costs around 3,000 rupees, and it has all the capabilities that your desktop computer can do. So what I will do that I will put that Raspberry Pi with in that chair, and within that Raspberry Pi I will put the IP address over there, and through that Raspberry Pi I will connect my chair to the internet. Now my identification of the my chair through an IP address is being done, but it is not still IoT enabled. Why? Because I have to put some sensing devices into the chair. Otherwise, what is the use of connecting this chair with the internet? Sensing device means I want to check who is sitting in this chair. That case, what I need to do, I have to put one sensor, pressure sensor, suppose, in the chair, so that if anybody sits into the chair, that case a pressure will generate, and that pressure information will go to the Raspberry Pi, and from that Raspberry Pi it will go to the internet, and I will be able to know that somebody has seated into the chair, and my chair will become a IoT enabled. Right. Now, I have enabled my chair through an IoT devices. Now I want to make it an actuator devices. Means yeah, not only sensing, it will control. I want to control the chair from a remote location. Means I want to allow. I want to restrict the control of allow whom I need to allow to sit in this chair, and whom I don't want to allow to sit in this chair. So that case, what I can do, I can put an actuator, a bar in front of the chair, and if I allow a particular person to sit into the chair in front onto this chair, that case, what I can do that I can lift the bar. So that bar will be an actuator. Now that actuator will also connected with the Raspberry Pi. Now, if I want to control it from a remote location, what I will do that I will give one uh, uh, instruction through the internet to the Raspberry Pi. When the Raspberry Pi gets the instruction, immediately Raspberry Pi will activate that actuator. That okay, so you lift the bar so that somebody can put it sit into this chair. So these are the two ways. That means by sensing and actuating. These are the two functions that our conventional IoT devices works on. So by sensing and actuating, I am controlling this chair and make it enable to IoT. So is this clear? Those who are new to this IoT. So it's a basic description of IoT. So if it is clear, please write 1 in the chat box. And if it is not clear, if you need further clarification, I am ready to give. Okay. So next is that what are the applications of IoT and the IoT architecture? Now, in the same manner, I am connecting my TV, my washing machine, my fridge. These are few of the example. As I already I told that you can connect anything and everything. Your car, your door, your building. So anything, everything you can connect. Connect means you will put one sensors in all of these devices, sensors or actuators, whatever it may be, and you put the IP address of each of the sensors or actuators, and they will send the data continuously. Where they will send the data? In the cloud. So that those data will be in the unstructured form. Means the data doesn't have any structure like in the your conventional relational databases you see. So those unstructured data will go to the cloud. Those unstructured data will be processed and cleaned through different AI machine learning approaches. That depends upon you. So what type of data, what type of relevant data you require, so you will be given only those relevant data, and either and based on the relevant data the user will give a further instruction to all those IoT devices. Suppose I want to give an instruction to my TV that what from the what my TV is producing data. So what are the channels my users are viewing, and based on this I will analyze it and I will check that what are the channels do I require. So based on this I will put an instruction that okay, I need these channels, so and rest of the channels I will unsubscribe, because why should I unnecessarily put subscription fees of all those channels. Similarly, for any building, what type of data I can collect from the building. That means how many lights are being on and for how long it is being on, and if based on this data, I can identify that during night time, few of the lights which are not required to put on, so I can control and give an instruction that okay, during the night time, put off all those lights. So these are few of the examples that why I need the IoT to control my anything and everything which are IoT enabled. I am giving further examples. Do you know that through your mobile you are always being monitored by Google, because your GPS is on. So wherever you are going, everything and anything, all the data are with the Google. Earlier, 20 years back, in our school days, our parents used to call in our school or colleges that whether my word is in really is in school or colleges, or he or she is in the cinema hall. Right now your parents can identify that whether you are actually in the cinema hall through by controlling your devices only. Just they will log in with your Google ID and password. They can identify that what is your exact location. Not only that, with whom you are there, who are your friends, though who are those are enjoying in the cinema hall instead of you are being in the college. Not even that, I have started using Google from 2004. That means it is 2020. For the last 16 years, Google continuously taking my data. If I ask Google that in 2007, 25th February, where I was, it will give you the entire data. Even not my data, your data also. You can check your data where you are there. Do you want to check it? Do you want to see it how Google is doing all those things? If you want to see check it, then I will show you the demo. Please write it in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please so.
So first thing is that you have to log in with your Google account, and what you have to write, that first thing is that where is my phone. Please write it down. Where is my phone? As already my desktop is logged in with my Google account, immediately it will find the location of my phone if my laptop, my devices is connected in the internet. That is also required. So it is now searching where my phone is, and immediately it has located it. So look at this. So it has already located. Now click over there. It will give you the pinpoint location. Oh, it is not coming. My hello. Can you see
Not
my
visible.
screen? My screen? No,
No, sir.
it is not visible. Okay, 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 okay. Just a minute. Just give me. Now, is this coming? Now, is this coming? Okay. So, I'm starting it from beginning. Okay. So, just type where is my phone. If you're logged in with your Google account in your mobile, and if your mobile is connected in the internet, immediately it will locate where is your phone. Now it is locating. Even you can try in your laptop or desktop also. Now it cannot reach the devices. Okay, click it on again. Now again it will search. Now look at this, it is showing my exact location where it is. It is Sukhafa Samannai Khetro. It is near 15 kilometers from Jorhat town. So here is actually my university location. So from that you can identify, and if you want to pinpoint identification, that is also possible. That is the first thing. Second thing is that, and it is also showing that what is my battery charge right now, which service provider I am being connected right now, everything. Not even that, it is not. It is showing the 4 kilometers periphery area. It is not pinpointing the exact location of your mobile devices. Suppose you lost your mobile. If you kept it somewhere else, now you cannot identify where it is there. That case, what you can do that from here, you just click on play sound. So can you hear the sound is coming? Can you hear the sound is coming? That is from my home phone. One sound is coming. Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, through this you can identify your phone. Now if you want to stop that ringing, just click on that, because from phone itself you cannot stop that ringing, because if somebody has theft your phone, that case immediately he can stop it. Okay, so until and unless you control it, you stop it from here itself, you cannot stop it. Okay, this is one of the security features that Google is providing. Not Google, iOS devices are also providing the same thing. Now, another thing is that if you want to secure your devices further, that case, what you can do that in the next option, you can lock your devices, and still the thief can unlock these devices, because there are so many mechanisms are there. They can unlock your devices and they can sell it to somebody else. That case, your data is very important, right? You can erase your all data. Now if you, and those data will be erased from these devices only. But don't worry, if you purchase a new phone, then immediately all your backup will be restored from Google account. So this is one of the biggest example, which you can take it as an advantage, or which one you can use it for your day-to-day purposes. So you can secure your phone, whether if okay, so if your mobile is switched off, that case it will show you your last location when your mobile is on and connected in the internet. If your mobile is switched off, that case there is no way. There is another way, that is through IMEI number. You can track it, but we are not authorized to do that one. The police can do that. They can track it if your mobile is switched off. Still through IMEI number. IMEI means integrated mobile equipment identity. So through IMEI number, you can track your phone. So is this? Am I able to give the answer, Chiranjit? Do you get your answer? Okay, fine.
Yes,
Now
sir.
the next thing is that already I told that Google is every day is taking your data, right? So if you want to see that 10 years back at a particular time where I was, that can also you can check. So for that, what you have to do, that you have to log into your Google Map account. So through in that Google Map account, there is a timeline option is there. Click on the timeline option. Immediately it will be connected and it will show you that where you are. So I'm showing that one. So here the timeline. Can you see my PPT screen? I think no. PPT screen is visible. No. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Now PPT screen is visible. Now my PPT screen is visible to you. No. Okay. Let me check. Now it is visible. Now my PPT screen is visible. Can you see my screen? Okay. Actually, I am new in WebEx platform. That is why I am facing some problem.
Visible.
It is visible, right? Okay, fine. So just I am clicking on my. This is the link.
This is the
My
link. So not visible now.
still it is not visible, right? Hmm? Oh, it was earlier visible. Now it. Okay. Okay. So here what I have done that I have created my link of my Google Map in timeline option. So I am clicking on that one. Now is my screen visible? What is Google timeline that I have shared? Not visible, right? Now it will be visible. Now is this visible? Okay. Now, so I have opened my Google Map timeline option. Now here it is showing that randomly it has chosen this timeline, that is 2016 September 5th. So that timeline data is not available with Google. Do you know why? Because that time perhaps maybe my mobile is off. Now let us select some other timeline. 2016 September, suppose 2. Okay, another thing also can may happen that look at this. I have several accounts are there. So actually, my data is being stored in shajalkasha@gmail.com. So let us start with that particular Gmail account, because that time which Gmail account you have activated to store your data, that one is required. So whenever I have given this timeline, now if I select any one of the time, suppose 2016 month September, and then any date, which date you want to see, any date, you tell me any date or any time from 2010 to 2020. So any time you can tell me, I will show you that that time where I was there. So 15, okay. So you want to check that, and Josh want to check that in September 15 where I was. So look at this. It is showing some time where I was. That at 11:37 a.m. I was in Manikpur Primary School. Then at 7 p.m. It is showing City Center 2. So both the places are in Kolkata, and it is showing the address also. In the second case, it is showing the GPS location coordinates. Okay, so in case of September 15, I think another query I got. Let me check in the chat box. Somebody has written, Alok Sharma has written that in September 5, he wants to check where I was there. So in September 5, if you check, you will find out that I was in 7:59, that is 8 p.m. I was in Plant Nursery. Actually, that time I was in Thailand, in Bangkok. And 8 o'clock I was in SU Cafe, Student Union Cafe, that is in Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok. And you can check that at 8:30 I was in School of Environment and Research Development, Department of AIT. and that at 9:37 I was in the same places. After that I was driving. That at 12 p.m. I was somewhere the same place. Then at 12:50 to 42 I was in the new place Kluang Nuang, and at 1:22 p.m. I was in the same department, and at that time I have clicked one picture, and that picture is also GPS tagged. So it is showing that picture also. If I click that picture, you can see that that day what picture I have clicked over there. So in that way, so any date and every date you can also figure it out. Now it is about you can find it out that 5th September 2016, right? So instead of 5th September 2016, I want to check 5th September 2017 after 1 year. So where I was, let us check. Now it is only finding out that in 2017, it is I was at Kaziranga University. The details are not there. Still, whatever pictures I was available pictures I had, so those pictures were there. So it is not about me. It is about you also. Now the question is, Google is helping out that I can identify that where I was there, and based on this, perhaps you might have seen that you can get the Google notification that 1 year back where you are, 2 years back where you are. Do you get that location? Hmm? So you can identify that place that from that photos also. Now the question is why Google is taking your data, because it's a huge amount of data, right? And it takes a lots of storage space. And why Google is keeping all those data with them? Can you give me an answer, sensible answer, why Google is taking all those data, and what is Google's interest regarding this one? Anybody? So you can open your mic, unmute yourself, and you can answer it. Or if you want to write it in the chat box, that is also okay for me.
So the digital marketing,
Digital marketing. What type of digital marketing, sir?
like you just notice if we search anything in Google, or suppose if some activity if we do, then automatically the next day or next that day we'll be receiving some mail regarding that thing only.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you, sir. It's
So they
exactly.
are
It's
giving
only digital marketing, not only. Yes, not only digital marketing, they are selling your data also. They are selling your data to
yes
the
sir,
prospective users. Now, from that,
yes sir,
your movement, they are finding out what is the likes and dislikes, because they are analyzing all those data. And based on this, they are pushing those advertisement to you only, and thus they are selling the same data to the third party companies also.
yes
So
sir.
that is why,
Actually, there is something called
yes, sir.
ACO. There is something called ACO, search engine optimization
Optimization, exactly.
advertising.
So this is a part of SEO only. Now the thing is that this year, do you know that, no, not this year, last year, Sundar Pichai, the Google CEO, has been impeached by the Martin Congress. Why? Google is taking the data without users consent. So Sundar Pichai has told that I have never taken any single piece of data without users consent. Every time user has given the consent, that is why I have taken the data. Even whenever you are installing the Google apps, so there is a terms and condition is written over there, and you have to agree before installing that one. So do you read those terms and condition? Nobody reads that one. So that is the advantage Google is taking. Not Google is taking only, any apps that you are installing, you have to give them the access permission. Also, you have to agree with the terms and condition. So Google is going ethically. That is why whatever data they have taken, they are sharing those data with you also. That the boss, these are the data I have taken from you. If you want to delete those data, or if you want to restrict us from taking those data, we'll do it. But what about those Chinese mobiles and Chinese apps? So they are taking your data knowingly and unknowingly, and they are taking a huge advantages, and it's a national threat also for us. So, my friend, beware of that. So it is not like that. Whatever you are getting free in the digital world, it is not always free, because none of your meal is free in this world. So there is some interest is hidden over there. So if the interest is with our Indian companies, okay, give them, because it will be within our national interest only. But don't allow to access your data by any other countries. And the thing is that all or other way, you can try to use those apps only where you have the restriction policy. Also you can impose your restriction policy, that which data I will allow them to store and which data I will not allow them to store. By this time, Ankur Mohanta has written one question: how to check who was with me at that time? So that case, what you can do that you can have to who are there in your friend circle. So those you can make a particular group in your Google account. That means in with this Google account, suppose xyz@gmail.com, he is my friend. So if you allow Google to take that particular Google Gmail account as a part of your group, so that case those data based on the user's permission, it will be shared with you also. Suppose Siddharth is your friend. Your name is Ankur, right? Siddharth is your friend. So if you want to keep Siddharth in your group only. So if you keep a new group where Siddharth is also in your group, that case Google will send a message to Siddharth that whether your data can be shared with Ankur or not. So if Siddharth give yes, that case immediately you can find also by this time whether Siddharth was also there with you or not. So you can find that with who are the others are also present. Do you get my answer, Ankur? Ankur, is this the answer of your question? Okay, fine. So this is one of the example of why IoT to be used. My dear friend, this meeting may end within 5 minutes because it's a 50 minutes restriction. So with the same link, you just click on that case, you will be connected again. Okay. Now I am resuming my slideshow. Is my slide is visible now? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. Now the next thing is that what are the other applications of IoT? So right now I am telling you everything and anything is going to be connected with the IoT devices only. Right now there is a survey has been made. It is seen that each of the users are connected with at least two devices. That means one may be your laptop and another may be your phone. But by 2030, each of the users may be connected with at least 7 devices. Means from 7 devices are connected with you, and they are collecting all the data, and they're collecting all the data, they are synchronizing all those data with each other, and based on this they are analyzing, and their those analyzed data will be shared with you. Suppose some wearable device you may use. Right now I am connected with the 5 devices. My wearable device is there, my iPad is there, my 2 phones are there, my laptop is there. Later on it might happen that your bag is also connected with you, and they are collecting your data. Your shoe may be collected with you, and it is also taking your data and send it to the cloud servers. Now our government of India also trying to connect 100 cities in each year, and make they are projected to make them as a smart city. Smart city is basically connecting most of the important equipments of those cities through the IoT devices, so that they can get the data continuously to identify and to minimize the power consumption of that city, and to maximize the livelihood conditions of that city through using ICT and IoT. How? I am giving one example of a smart city concept. Suppose you can see that if there is any reactor, nuclear reactor is there, the most threatening thing of the nuclear reactor is the always checking, continuous monitoring of the radioactive level. So what they can do, that they will put some sensors which will Geiger-Müller counter type, which will continuously sense the radioactivity, and if it goes beyond the threshold, immediately it will be informed to the authority. Or in the factory, you can check the continuously monitor through an IoT sensors the air pollution index, and also not only that, if any gas leakages happens, immediately it will be informed to the respective authority, or also the police stations also. So if this type of smart city concept comes into pictures in next few years, that case we might not have such kind of accident that we had in Visakhapatnam few days back. You have seen now the within the city itself there was a huge gas leakage has happened, and it results some few key casualties also. Not only that, in the fire, in the forest also, you can protect the forest from the firefighting. Means that you can detect that whether any extreme temperatures are rising in this your forest, so that you can take care of that forest, that whether any fire is going on, so that you can immediately protect the forest from breakout of the fire. So this is another example, and another very good example of IoT is that structural health monitoring of your bridge, because so many bridges are there. They are 50 years old or 60 years old, but you don't know what is the current structural health. If there is any damages are going on internally, you might not be knowing, and if any accident happens, that will become a huge create a huge casualty. Now, for that, what can be done, that at the time of creating the concrete of that bridge, you can put some sensors. That sensors is called piezoelectric sensor. Now, what is the function of the piezoelectric sensor? Within the piezoelectric sensors, within the concrete, if there is any crack happens, that case the air bubble will come up within this crack. Now piezoelectric sensor always send some electric signals to the server in the cloud servers. Now when it is sending an electric signal, if it goes through those Google Chrome, just write one option, takeout.google.com, takeout.google.com. So here it will show you what are the data Google has taken from you, what are the data Google has taken from you. So that case you have to log in with your that particular account. So right now this is my official account. In the official account there is not that much of data. If I go to my personal account, which I am running from the last 15 years, so once I have downloaded most of all the data, I find it out. Can you imagine the amount of data that I have downloaded from Google server that Google has taken out from me? That is 8 GB, 8 GB amount of data. So it will show you that which data you want to download. Android device data, arts and culture, blogger data, calendar data, Chrome data, classroom data. So you have to select everything. So there is two options: either you can download this or you can remove those data also. So you can do and you can remove all your data from your takeout.google.com. So you just go to takeout.google.com, select everything, and either you can download, and after download you can delete all those data. Now, do you get my answer? Did you get your answer, that Rajesh, that how to remove your data from Google? So if you don't to keep your data to be with Google, that you can certainly do that, because this facility, these features, Google has introduced recently only after getting the summon from the Market Congress. Okay, can you design a software radio using a Raspberry Pi? The first question is that what is there in the software radio, sir? You have to make me educated. So that case, I can answer that whether I can do it or not. Though using Raspberry Pi, you can do anything, but the thing is that what your software defined radio works, that you have to make me educate. You have to explain me what you exactly want.
Sir, can we, sir?
Yeah.
So actually software radio is a digital device. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell me.
The software radio is a digital device which is programmable, where
Hmm.
if we change the software version, we
Huh.
can do so many things. We can convert the
Okay,
software
okay,
radio
okay,
into
okay, okay. That means you can tune to any one of the software radio station, right?
not only
Whatever I
radio
have.
stations, sir. We can do so many things. Like you can convert our mobile into a radar using software radio, and
Yeah,
many wide
definitely you can do
applications.
it. Yes, you can do it. Just what you have to do that you have to run your Python program over there, and each of the devices, equipment identity details, you have to connect it through the Raspberry Pi. You can certainly do it. I will show you. I will
And
show you. One of our students
and
have done this one.
second thing, sir, whether this Raspberry Pi is
Hmm.
it a sophisticated embedded system?
Sir, it's a computer. I'll show you. Do you want to see how the Raspberry Pi works? Let us see that one, show you
Yeah,
that one.
actually,
Okay. So
yeah, actually,
just
computers, computers and mobiles we classify as sophisticated embedded system.
okay.
So according,
I'm showing, sir.
I have gone through
Just
the
okay.
yes, sir.
So you just give me 2 minutes because that case I have to connect my iPad in this system so that I can show you the entire demo of Raspberry Pi. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so can you see my iPad screen? I think no.
Yes, sir.
You can see my iPad screen?
Yes, sir. But it's hazy.
Yeah, it's obviously easy. Now it will come to you. Okay, fine. Okay, so I have opened my camera. Now, what you can see, all the participants, this is the Raspberry Pi. I can show it from another angle also. So, can you see that Raspberry Pi device that I have in my hand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's basically a computer, full-fledged computer. It has 1 gigahertz of processor, 1 GB of RAM, and also to connect with your mouse and keyboard, it has 4 USB ports also there. It has 4 USB ports. Internet is a little bit slow, that is why it is coming late. Just connect it again. Reconnect it again. One. Just a minute, I reconnect it again. Now my iPad screen is visible. Hello, is the screen
Yes, sir.
visible? Okay, fine. Now look
Yes.
at this. Look at this. Okay, it's slower. So this is the Raspberry Pi I have connected to my TV. So look at this. This is the entire uh, screen is coming as though there is a streaming problem is going on. It becomes a little bit delayed. It's coming a little bit delayed. So you can see that the entire it has got one operating systems also. Too slow. It's too slow. Otherwise, I could have shown to you that what I wanted to show you that through that Raspberry Pi, you can install a particular operating system within your Raspberry Pi, and that operating system is basically Raspbian. That is an open source Linux platform operating system. So whatever you can do within your Linux platform based operating systems, everything you can do it in Raspberry Pi also. You can browse your internet, you can watch a movie in YouTube, you can watch movie in any one of the media streaming player, you can play games, anything and everything you can do. So whatever Deepshankar sir has told that to whether I can do the any software defined radio type of projects, that also you can do. So now it is coming that look at this. This is the operating system that is installed in this Raspberry Pi. That is a credit card size computer. That was I was discussing about, and its price is only 3,000. Now with that price, you are getting an entire desktop computers. Not only that, you can carry this. It's so portable that you can carry this within your pocket also. Okay. So is there any other question regarding Raspberry Pi?
No, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for
Okay, fine.
clarification.
Okay, so I'm going to the next browser quickly because I have very short limited time over there. Uh, I think PPT is visible to you. Not visible. Okay. Now PPT is visible to you. Okay, fine. So quickly go through the network different layers of IoT. As we know that the internet or the computer network, we have the seven layers, seven standard layers as specified by ISO OSI reference model. Or if you go through the TCP/IP, we have the five layers. Sorry, four layers. But in the case of IoT, it has got only three layers. First layers is the layer where your sensors or the devices through which sensors or actuators are connected. That means the lower line you can see that the wearable gadgets, smart TV, car sensors. So these are consists of in the layer one, and in the layer two you have the access network. So that means and in the layer three that is the data where your data will be stored. That is the internet or the cloud. Means you have the sensors in the layer 1, and you have the storage devices, that is the cloud platform, that is in layer 3. So there should be some devices or some mechanism where which will act as a bridge between your layer 1 and layer 3. That means how your sensors will be connected with your cloud. So that layer is the layer 2, that is the access network layer. So that may be for the infrastructure-less sensor, that may be the wireless sensor network, where your Arduino or Raspberry Pi will resides, or for your car, that if it is connected with the Wi-Fi, that case Wi-Fi will be your access network layer, or if it is a smart TV, that case your set-top box will be your network access layer. If it is a wearable gadget, that case 3G will be your network access layer. So this is the basically the layered architecture of the Raspberry, your IoT devices. Now let us move back to that how you can create your IoT projects in your home. So for that, either you can do it using Raspberry Pi or Arduino or Intel Galileo. Now, if I make a vis-a-vis comparison between these three, the first thing is that Raspberry Pi and Intel Galileo, the first one and the third one is basically a computer, the mini computer. Whereas Arduino is basically a microcontroller. It can take the data, it can process the data up to a certain extent, but a computer has some other features also. Means in a computer you can connect it through the internet. A computer has a sound card itself, so that it can process or synthesize the sounds, or it can take the data from any other output devices. So all those facilities are present within a computer. So your Raspberry Pi and Intel Galileo is capable of doing that. Even you can install operating systems in Raspberry Pi and Intel Galileo. But within Raspberry Pi and Intel Galileo, what is the main difference? Main difference is the pricing. Intel Galileo is priced over 6,000. It's a proprietary of Intel, whereas Raspberry Pi is an open source and its cost around 3,000. And processing capability wise, both are more or less same. But another biggest advantage of Raspberry Pi is that as it is an open source, you can get entire code available in the internet, or you can modify the code and you can create your own operating system. That is why in the open source community there are so many numbers of Raspbian or related operating systems are available. So you can install any one of the operating systems as per your choice. Another thing that I can show you. Do you want to see how whenever you are connecting your Raspberry Pi with the TV? Because that time I could not show you properly. Do you want to see that one? How it looks like? How the operating systems of the Raspberry Pi looks like? Do you want to see that? I can show you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm showing you. Just a minute. Can I see my desktop? Can you see? Okay, the desktop is not visible, right? Actually, I have to make share my desktop. Now, can you see my desktop? Okay. Now, I have virtualized the Raspbian platform also. So I'm opening my Raspbian platform over there. Just look at it. So I have the VMware workstation where I have multiple numbers of operating systems are present. So whenever I require, if I don't want to install any Raspbian operating systems within my Raspberry Pi, that case what I can do that from the available operating system that I have, I can open it and connect it to my Raspberry Pi. So here you can see that I have multiple number of operating systems are present: Ubuntu, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, CentOS, as well as Raspberry Pi also. And if I click the Raspberry Pi, you can see how the Raspbian operating system will look like. So I am powering on that Raspberry Pi, and that virtual machine consists of, I am showing you the configuration of that machine. Just a minute. It is opening. The machine is opening. So look at this, the configuration of this virtual machine is that the machine I consists of 2 GB of RAM, that is the Raspberry Pi, the virtual Raspberry Pi I have created, It has 2 GB of RAM, one processor, 30 GB of hard disk space, and it will work like what your actual Raspberry Pi works. The system is booting. Raspbian is booting now. So not only Raspberry Pi, whatever operating system is written in the left-hand side panel, you can start any one of the operating systems. Not only one operating system, you can start all the operating systems together simultaneously. So this is the my Raspberry Pi has started. This is the how your Raspbian should look like. And this is the IP address, auto IP address assigned 192.168.222.129. Now select the place, set up your password. It's taking some time to update because first time I have started this one, so that is why it is updating and system configuration is getting set up. So by this time, if you have any question, you can ask me any question regarding Raspberry Pi or Arduino, regarding difference, what type of projects shall I start with Raspberry Pi, what type of project shall I start with Arduino. My suggestion is at each and every students must have a Raspberry Pi with you. It costs only 3,000. You can keep it with you. I have 7 Raspberry Pi. So I kept all those Raspberry Pi for my students. If they show any interest to do any projects, IoT related projects, immediately I have given this. I used to give my Raspberry Pi to them. So update is taking some time. So do you have any question? In that case, otherwise I will move forward and I will come back again to check that whether update is completed or not. Do you have any
Sir,
question?
Raspberry Pi implements ARM processor and that advanced
Yes.
disk machine processor.
I'm not getting you, sir. Your voice is cracking actually.
This Raspberry Pi
Uh,
getting that advanced disk machine processor, I think.
Advance? Sorry.
Advanced disk machine, sir.
Can you write it in the chat box, sir? Okay, Alok Kumar has written asked one question, what type of projects to start with Raspberry Pi at basic level? So any type of sensor-based projects where you have to transfer your data to the internet. That case, suppose you want to control your home light, fan, switch, everything. Suppose, okay, that means that case, for each of the switch, you require 2 pins of the Raspberry Pi. So have you seen in the Raspberry Pi? I'm showing you the structure of the Raspberry Pi. That case, I can answer your question, Alok, clearly. Uh, Let me share my screen first. Okay. Is my PPT visible to you? PPT? PPT is visible? Okay, fine. So look at this. This is the Raspberry Pi architecture. Okay. So this is the Raspberry Pi architecture. So here you can find it out that here two USB port, 2 into 2 USB ports, 4 USB ports are there. This is one Ethernet port is there. There is one audio and composite output jack is there. Here's a camera connector. Means if you want to connect any webcam, that is also quite possible. HDMI port is there to connect with your TV screen or any other LCD monitor to work on that. And here the 5 volt micro USB is there, so that how to give the power. We used to give the power through your micro USB. You have the micro USB adapter for your mobile. With that same micro USB adapter, you can power in your Raspberry Pi. Okay. Now, what I wanted to tell you is that, have you seen the 20 ports, 20 pins are there? So this is the structure of the 20 pins. Now, to connect any one of the sensor devices, that means suppose your light, you want to control your light in your home. So for that, 2 pins of your Raspberry Pi is required. Now, as here 40 pins are there, you can at least connect 20 switches or any sensors through your Raspberry Pi and control them simultaneously. So that is why my suggestion is that if you want to use Raspberry Pi, start with the basic project of controlling your home appliances and switches. Your light, your fan, your bulb, your TV, fridge, washing machine. So connect all of them through Raspberry Pi and create an user interface in your mobile, and from that you can easily control them. Now, if you are a very novice level, beginner level in the Raspberry Pi, just connect only a switch and try to control it. And if it works, then connect another devices. Okay, so in this way, so for the basic beginner level, you can start this type of projects. I have so many projects that you will find out in my website. Those projects demonstration are given, the basic level projects, how to start your basic projects from using Raspberry Pi. Okay, so is this the answer of my question? Uh, Alok, huh? Alok, you have asked me the question. Okay. Next question is Deepshankar sir is in a separate webinar. It was told that Raspberry Pi has ARM architecture. So, is that mean that advanced RISC machine processor? Yes, obviously, it's an ARM processor only. It's a Qualcomm ARM architecture. ARM processor is given there. So, it's a RISC processor, reduced instruction set computing machine processor. You are right, absolutely right, sir. And Josh has asked me, tell us something about the basic level. So, okay. So now I will start the basic level programming so that you can start in your home only. That is the main purpose of this webinar. Now, let us start with the Arduino. Now, this is all about the Raspberry Pi. Now, if you want to start with an Arduino, Arduino is basically a microcontroller where two microcontroller processors are there in Arduino Mega and Arduino Uno. There are 4 types of Arduinos are there: Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, Arduino Lilipad, and Arduino Nano. So Arduino Lilipad and Arduino Nano are the smaller in size, and they have also the restricted processing capability. Whereas Arduino Uno and Arduino Mega has two processor combined with two processor. And talking about these two processor, one processor is called Arduino Atmega 328 microcontroller. This one, and this is basically used for the programming purposes. Okay, and another processor is that is called Atmega 16 U2 USB controller. So this processor is used to control your USB, because in Arduino there is an USB port is there, and Atmega 328 microcontroller, through this you can do your all your programming, because whatever programming you are writing in your Arduino IDE, so that program will be first burnt into that processor only. Not only that, they have some input output pins are available. I will discuss those input output pin in the next slide. So before that, let me introduce that input output pin. you can see that how many pins are there. You can find it out here from 1 to 13 output pins are there. These are digital input output pins. Now you can use any one of them as the input pin or output pin. In that case, you have to mention it in your program itself. And the last two pins, you can find it out that 0 and 1. This is the serial in and serial out. That means if you want to send your data serially, that case you can use that pin only. And there is a reset button is available, USB plug is available, and here in the lower side you will find out some of the analog pins are there. Here in the upper side, you will find out pin number 2 to pin number 13 is reserved for digital input output. And in the lower side, you will find out A0 to A5, that is 6 pins. These are the analog pins. Why analog pins are required? Because some of the sensors takes only the analog inputs only. So for that, analog pins are used. And this is the voltage pin. And another question that comes from the student side: what is the standard operating voltage of Raspberry Pi? Means Raspberry Pi कौन सा voltage में काम करेगा? Can you give an answer of this one? What is the standard operating voltage of Raspberry Pi? Sorry, I'm sorry. Every time I'm talking about Raspberry Pi, it's about Arduino. What is the standard operating voltage of Arduino? For Raspberry Pi, the standard operating voltage is 5 volt. No. The Arduino standard operating voltage is 7 volt to 12 volt. Okay, so if you give less than 7 volt, it will become unstable. And if you give more than 12 volt, that case it may burn out due to overheating. So the standard voltage is either you can keep any voltage level in between 7 volt to 12 volt. Okay. So this is already I have discussed regarding Arduino Atmega and Arduino Atmega 16U2, and this is the Arduino IDE. I will introduce the Arduino IDE. You have to install that IDE, and you have to write your program in that IDE. You have to compile that program, and after that you have to upload that program in your Arduino board. And you have to fire that program. That means that program will be fired in that particular processor of your Arduino. And after that, whatever desired output you want, you can find it out. Now the question is, I don't have Arduino right now, so how to do it? So there are several simulators are there where you can bring the Arduino board, you can bring the LED, everything. You can write your program. There is a code section is there, and after that you can compile it. Immediately you will get the result. I'll show you. And apart from this, you have seen that in the Arduino there are several restricted features are there because it's a microcontroller. It's a processing only. But in case of if I want to connect this Arduino to internet, it is not possible for the time being. Or if I want to put one LCD display, that is also not possible. But what you can do that you can put one Arduino shield on top of the Arduino. The Arduino shield is basically a separate hardware which is compatible with Arduino to do a specific job. These Arduino shields are available in the market, and with that Arduino shield for doing their specific job, there are several libraries are also available which will enable those Arduino shield to work with Arduino. Those libraries are available free of cost. You can download that library, you can put that Arduino shield on top of the Arduino. The lower part you can see in the first case, you can see the Arduino shield of an LCD shield, color LCD shield. That means that color LCD is available separately. You can put it on top of the Arduino, and where you can create one LCD display. And for that, to run that LCD display, you need a separate library, and that libraries are available in the market. Similarly, you have the synthesizer shield also. This synthesizer shield basically generates the music, and it can connect with the speaker. So it is basically a kind of sound card. Okay, next is the Ethernet shield. So through this shield, you can connect to the Ethernet either through the Ethernet port or through the USB port. So this Arduino shield you can use it on top of the Arduino. Yes, so we are on top of the Arduino to put some add-on features onto the Arduino. So this is the one of the Ethernet Shield library example. That means how to enable your internet in the Arduino using the Ethernet Shield. It's a basically C program. So I am giving a glimpse of this one. What it is written, that it's a function where it is written that connect IP address IP and unit 60 port, means you have to give the IP address of that shield, also which port, because several ports are available, which ports you want to use to send your data out of this Ethernet port. So number of socket is also restricted. I think it is 16. So before starting scanning your ports, first it will check that whether the socket not equal to maximum socket number. Means if you give the socket number 17 and it's available sockets are 16, that case it will return 0. Else it will check scan from socket number 0 to maximum socket number, that which socket the socket status is 1. That means that socket is enabled to send your data only. And the checking line, what is written conditional statement is whatever it is written, that is for the TCP/IP three-way handshaking only. So you don't have to remember the entire code, because it's a library. You just have to take this library from the internet and you have to put it over there to run your Arduino Shield with Arduino. Another thing, how Arduino codes are being run. It is a basically simple thing that the same way your C programs are running on your machine. So the whatever codes you are running, writing, all are being combined to in your Arduino IDE. Arduino IDE will show you, and you whenever you will compile it, immediately it is not going to convert it into a machine level language. So before converting into a machine level language, first it convert into assembly languages, and after that it links with all the libraries, related libraries. Because in C program, whatever functions, user defined functions you are writing, suppose void main or a scanf, printf. So for that you have to include the libraries stdio.h or conio.h or map.h, whatever it may be. So all those libraries will be linked with that assembly language code, and after that entire code will be converted to a hex file creation. Hex file is basically your machine level languages, and and its extension is .hex. And after that it will be uploaded to which microcontroller, Atmega 328 or Atmega IU62. Can you give me the answer? The entire code will uploaded in which part? Can you give me the answer? I told that in Arduino there are two processors are there, right? Two processors are there. If you see, I told an Arduino two processors are there. One is Atmega 16U2, another is Atmega 328. So the entire code will be uploaded in which processor? Bigger processor or smaller processor?
Sorry, bigger one.
Bigger one. Very good. Because this is only used for the programming purpose. Okay. Very good. Next is that regarding the pins. Already I told that there are two pin section is there. The first one is for the digital input output pins, and the lower section we have the this section we have the analog input. Now the digital input output pin, the pin sorry, the input it takes the input voltage as an input, and also showing you the output voltage. So input output voltage is level is from 0 to 5 volts. Now for the output pins are obviously the output pins, that means the what are the outputs that your Arduino will show, that will be controlled by Arduino only. But the input pins, the inputs that will be taken by the user only. Users are giving all those inputs in the ID. So ID is another name is called sketch also. That is why it is written as that the voltage or the input pins inputs are being determined by the sketch. That means whatever you are writing in the sketchboard, so that will be shown over here. Now for the digital output, it will be from 0 to 5 volt. But what about the analog? Because in case of analog, the data will come from 0 to 5. Now it will take the analog inputs, but there is no way of showing you the analog output. All the outputs will come as a digital output only. So for the digital input and analog input, the analog may be digital or analog based on whether it is digital or analog, but output will, whether it is irrespective of analog or digital, the output will always be digital. Okay. So here the details are given that for the pin already we have shown that the digital pins are from 0 to 13, analog pins are from A0 to AS, and whenever you will activate the pins, you have to write these lines of code, that is pin mode, pin comma mode, means that which mode you want to activate it. So there are three modes. One is input mode, one is output mode, another is input pull-up mode. Input mode means it will take the input, output mode it will show you the output, and input pull-up means it will show you the input in active low. Those who are from the electronics, they know they understand the concept of active low. Active low means if you give the input 1, it will take the input as 0. That means it will reverse the input. If you give the input 0, it will take the input as the system input pin will take the input as 1. Is this clear? So it will take the input as a